people realize. But make of it what you want, as Barrett said. Jalen Hurts is over there with the offensive line. I say it all the time. Everybody likes the kid. I just said I'm going to contradict myself. Who cares? You can't go 90 for 90. Jalen Hurts might be close. I don't know if he's going 90 for 90, but everybody likes that kid.
That's huge. Yeah, that is huge.
Isn't that impressive?
They're going to fight for you regardless because, you know, I mean, you might not be the most talented guy in the world, but if you have and you won over your teammates and they know that you're going to give your all, and they'll go out there and, you know, they'll knock a wall down for you. So you're going to get those guys playing and doing that extra to make you sure you're successful as a player also. And that's exactly what happened when he did enter the game and they beat the Saints. Everybody was playing at another level because they knew that they had to go out and compensate for his lack of experience. And they wanted to make sure that he looked good out there. And that means a lot to a player, that you're going to do a little extra to make sure he's successful. And in the same breath, you know that he's going to give you his all, his absolute all when he's out there on the field. And you'll play for somebody like that. And those guys are going to do the same thing, especially the offensive lines like you just talked about. The receivers are going to, make sure they're going to do a little extra for him simply because they might see that he's inefficient at this. They're going to try to help him do that. Those are all things that your teammates can help you and make you a lot better than what you really are. And, perfect example, Brady for years had guys that were kind of inefficient in the aspect that they were little wide receivers, but he made that system work because he was so good in understanding what the defense was trying to do to him and made guys like Wes Welker, Amendola, all these guys very successful. And that just comes from guys picking. He picked up his game to make sure their game is adequate enough to win Super Bowls. Same thing's going to happen here. Not the Super Bowl part, but, we'll see about that. But the same thing's going to happen here with the Eagles. They're going to play a little beyond simply because they love this guy so much and they know he's going to give the same effort. Jalen Hurts at this point is the captain of that ship. And regardless they want to name him a starter or not, the players have spoken. The way which they reacted last year spoke loudly to me because they supported him the way they did. So to me, it was never a question of whether he was going to be the starter or not. He's going to be the starter for this team. They're going to rally around him. At the end of the day, if you got 53 guys fighting for the same goal, it's kind of hard to stop them. And I really believe that this team is really behind Jalen at this point.
Barrett, let me compare two guys who you just mentioned. Completely different, but both will be starting quarterbacks in the NFL this upcoming season, Jalen Hurts and Tom Brady. If Brady is your quintessential pocket guy, which he is, drop back, he can move in the pocket, but he's not going to take off and run. He's got good, quick feet and can slide the pocket, but he's not going to move the pocket, and he's the greatest of all time. Jalen Hurts looked to be a freelancer last year. One of the reasons why is he's that quick, and he can turn it up the field and make a loss into a 20-plus yard game. Which guy would you rather play in front of? Did you like the guy who could get out of the pocket? Maybe you missed the block. Maybe rather than taking a 12-yard sack, he turns it into a 10-yard game. And breaking down the film, they don't notice that Barrett Brooks got eaten up on the play. Or do you like the stay-at-home guy? Because, hey, if I do my job, I'm staying in my lane, the quarterback's staying in his lane, the play's going to work. And I don't have to worry about him trying to make it up as it goes along. Which did you prefer playing in front of? Stay-at-home, pocket guy, or someone who could and would make it up on the fly?
You know what? I played, honestly, I played with the perfect mix of both of those style of quarterbacks with Ben Roethlisberger. He was a pocket passer, but he was big enough and strong enough that he could sit in the pocket. And if you did let somebody go, he can evade him. He was, talented enough that he could evade him and get the ball down the field. He wasn't trying to run for a first down. His eyes were always down the field. But he was in the pocket and he would elongate plays so long. And he was big enough and strong enough that he still had enough to get the ball down the field if he was chased out the pocket. I played with, one of the best quarterbacks in the world in Randall Cunningham. There were times where we'd block for 5-6 seconds and it'd be an incomplete pass or it'd be a sack. But then there was times where the whole offensive line whiffed, and we didn't block a soul. And he'd throw it for 80 yards down the field to Calvin. You know what I mean? It's Calvin Williams. So, it's tough. And at the end of the day, it really depends on circumstances in which, or that were in your control, but turned out bad. But then he made you look good. You love both styles. But at the end of the day, I had the perfect mix with Big Ben. He was the perfect mix of a quarterback like that, where he can get the ball down the field, plus he can stay in the pocket. And I would equate more so. He's more so he was. If you look at Patrick Mahomes, to me, him and Ben Roethlisberger kind of play the same style. Guys that are athletic enough, if they need to push the ball down the field, they could do it even with somebody climbing on their back. But they're not necessarily going to run for a first down. So that's kind of what Patrick Mahomes is, and that's how I equated Ben. I think that, if you look at Jalen's going to use his legs early, but once he gets used to guys and, the pocket presses gets a little better, I think he could potentially be one of those type of guys that's not going to run for first downs, but going to keep his eyes down the field and then get the ball to his receiver.